Hello and welcome to today's video. Today's going to be a fun day. Today we are going to be talking about the EOS R. And we're going to be looking at the multifunction touch bar or swipe bar or touch bar or whatever you call it. And I'm going to be talking about how I set it up for my photography and how it's functional to me, because it was a very controversial thing when it came out and it was easy to accidentally touch and swipe and there was a lot of issues with it. But I'm going to talk about how I set it up for my photo shoots and use it in a way that's functional and useful for me. So stick around, roll the intro. All right, so now we're filming on a 50mm lens. The previous clip was shot on a 16-35, and I'm just curious to see what these different focal lengths look like. And this is a 50mm f1.8 EF lens at f2.8. So yeah, that's interesting. I also switched up my mic. I'm using the Comica WM200 mics, lav mics, and before I was using the Rode Video Micro. So I want to see what the sound is like, if there's any difference between the two mics. But anyway, back to this. This is the EOS R, and this is why we're here, to look at this swipe bar right here. So the swipe bar has a couple functions. It has a left tap, it has a right tap, and then of course you have your swipe left and right for adjusting. If you want to go ISO up or down, that kind of thing. And then left tap, right tap is like a single tap for turning on a setting or turning off a setting. So yeah, that's how it works. Plus, there is a lock feature you can set up in the menu. You can set it, I think it's a 1-second lock. So you actually have to hold the touch bar down for 1 second before it unlocks, and then you have access to your settings. So they say, some people say they touch it with their thumb by accident. Maybe if you have a really long thumb, but yeah, there's a lock feature there if you want. So let's jump into the menu and take a look at that. Okay, so let's pop open the EOS R and pop into the menu and take a look. So where you want to go to is this icon here, and you want to go to page 4 where it says customize MFN bar. So we're going to click on that, and Canon gives you two options here for customizing the bar. You can customize it in photo or video mode or in playback mode. So here I have it set to swipe back and forth. So if I'm swiping back and forth to browse images, that's set to do that, but I don't really use that because you can use the D-pad to go through stuff. So we're gonna go here to user customization. You can see here I have my left tap and right tap off, and I just have the swipe on, and the swipe is set to autofocus. But if you click on this button, you can kind of go through the different settings. So you can set it to adjust ISO, white balance, check focus display info, movie recording, some settings if you're doing some videography, flexible priority AE, and back to AF. So what I'm interested in is AF, so I'm gonna hit OK. And I'll show you just here on the left and right tap, you have similar stuff. So you have autofocus, ISO speed, white balance, check focus display info, movie recording, flexible priority AE, autofocus. We're gonna set it to off. So you pretty much have the same settings here with those buttons. So that is that. We're just gonna set it to autofocus, back to menu. And here we have the lock, right? So if you want to disable the lock, I usually have it disabled, but for demonstration, I'm gonna lock it so I can show you how to unlock it. Now we're gonna go out of here and we're gonna go into the viewfinder. So let's make this dark so we can actually see the details. So we're gonna turn that off and take the ISO down to 200. Now we have a nice dark screen to work with. So I touch the bar and nothing's really happening. So to unlock it, you have to hold the left tap for 1 second, and now we have access. So if I swipe left, we're on eye tracking, and if I swipe right, I can go through different focus modes. And I want to get rid of that. I just want eye tracking and then spot focus. So in order to do that, we're going back into the menu. We're going to autofocus, and I believe it's 5, yeah, limit autofocus methods. So we click on that. And now these are all the autofocus methods we have available to us. So I'm going to start turning them all off, except for these two, right? So now I have the tracking mode and I have just the spot focus. Hit OK, and we're going to go out. So now we're going to unlock this. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to take off the lock because I demonstrated how it works, and now we're just going to get rid of it because it's annoying. And there we go. So now if I swipe left, I go into face tracking, and if I swipe right, I have just focus points, so I can move that around on the screen. So if I'm composing a shot and I want that in focus, I just click there, or I want that in focus or that in focus, or if I want to go back to tracking eyes, I just swipe left, so it's super fast. Now let's get a picture up here. I'm going to get a little video of a face talking and I'll demonstrate this stuff. Okay, so here we have a little GB ASMR. I'll link her down below if you want to give her a watch. She does a lot of cool ASMR videos. So right now we are in face tracking. So as soon as we hold down the shutter button halfway, you'll see the blue square around her eye, and it's tracking her eye. Now let's say I want to focus on that plant in the foreground. I quickly swipe to the right, I can click here, and now the plant is in focus. So I can take that shot. If I want to focus on her eye, it'll track her eye again. And we can take those shots as well. So it's pretty cool. As soon as you let go, it stops tracking. So it's set to track every time the shutter button is pushed halfway. And there we go. And it does a pretty good job at tracking the eye. This is the latest firmware as of January 2021 on the EOS R. All right, plot twist. This whole video was filmed in 8K on the EOS R5 and downsampled to 4K. Does it look any different? Does it look different from my other videos? If you've watched other videos on my channel, and if you haven't, what are you waiting for? There's tons of good content. Definitely subscribe, give it a watch. But yeah, just curious. This is the first time I've tried to film an entire video for YouTube in 8K and downsample it to 4K. Does it look better? Is it sharper? Is it cleaner? I don't know. Let me know. I haven't seen the footage yet, but yeah, definitely interested to see if it makes a difference. With that being said, this video is now over. Hopefully you enjoyed that content on the multifunction touch bar. It's an interesting piece of tech because it's only ever going to exist on the EOS R. I don't think Canon is going to bring it back on any other camera body, although personally I did like it. I hope it does come back. I hope there's a joystick and a touch bar somewhere because I thought it was pretty useful to use. So yeah, hopefully this video gives you some ideas, teaches you how to set it up, how to program it, and maybe gives you some ideas on how you can use it in your photography workflow or video workflow to make it functional for you and improve the speed at which you can create. And that's what it's all about, just making things faster and easier for you. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, definitely subscribe to the channel. I got more stuff coming up. Got Photoshop tutorials, and when this pandemic is over, I'm going to take you on some behind the scenes so we can work with some models and I can show you some BTS stuff. And we're also going to do some Lightroom tutorials, Premiere Pro tutorials, and lots of fun stuff. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.